Good afternoon, dear student. Welcome back once again. Student, this was on the point which I have been started in the last lecture. This point I have been bifurcated into the two sub point. First one that is the equipment and second one that is the raw material. या पॉइंटला आपण सुरुवात केली होती मागच्या लेक्चरमध्ये and we have been started with the theory of the equipment. So introduction I have been explaining you completely in the last lecture. Then after that I have been explaining you about the selection criteria of the equipment. If you want to select the equipment for your pharmaceutical industry, then what are the different measures, what are the different factors, what are the different criterias which we have to consider in order to select the equipment for our pharmaceutical industry. हा पॉइंट सुद्धा मी तुम्हाला मागच्या लेक्चरमध्ये शिकवला होता. Now student, today as per our syllabus I am going to start with the details of purchase specification of the equipment. Details of purchase specification in concern of the equipment. Specification for the purchase of the equipment shall be defined in the details, and it should be defined in the form of the measurable characteristics such as size, weight, performance parameters, safety requirements, and etc. Now student, when you are going to purchase any equipment, then it becomes necessary that you have to specify its parameters, you have to specify its characteristics. However, on the basis of that specification characteristics, we are going to make a decision whether we have to purchase that particular equipment, yes or no. Try to understand, student, what I want to explain. However, when you are going to purchase any equipment for your industry, for your pharmaceutical industry, then in that concern, you have to prepare a one specific set of the characteristic. I mean to say, you have to prepare the specification, and that specification is called as in the purchase specification of the equipment. तर आता या पहिल्या पॉइंटकडे लक्ष असू द्या. In this first point, what I want to explain, this first point I want to explain you. Now, the first point in this purchase specification, this is the first point. Specification for the purchase of the equipment shall be defined in the detail in the form of the measurable characteristics such as size, weight, performance parameter, safety requirement, etc. These are simply said to be the various measurable characteristics which can be considered as in the specification parameters for the purchase of the equipment. Okay. Moving on toward the next second point. Specification document shall consist of the requirements, specification, standard specification, and the purchase agreement. However, when you are preparing a purchase specification of the document, at that time that specification document should consist of and the details of requirement specification, standard specification, and purchase agreement. Following are the certain standard specifications which are required to be considered for purchasing of the equipment as per the GMP. Now here I am going to explain you about some of the standard specification which are required to be considered, which are required to be a follow when we are going for the purchasing of the equipment as per the GMP. Okay. First one, equipment shall be located, designed, constructed and maintained in order to suit the operation carried out over it. This is one of the important points, student, which we have to consider. What is the point? Equipment shall be located, designed, constructed, and maintained in order to suit the operations which we are going to be carried out over that particular equipment. So here, the first specification which I want to explain following are the certain standard specifications which are required to be considered for purchasing of the equipment as per the GMP. तर त्याच्यातला जो पहिला स्पेसिफिकेशन मी तुम्हाला सांगतोय, that is equipment shall be located, designed, constructed and maintained in order to suit the operations which we are going to be carried out over it. Second point, designing should be in a manner that it should avoid the risk of error. The equipment designing should be in such a manner that it will minimize the chances of the error, it will minimize the risk of the error. Third one, each and every equipment shall be provided with a logbook. Each and every equipment shall be provided with a logbook. This is again one of the specification which is essential for the purchasing of equipment. Fourth one, balance and other measuring equipments shall be within the appropriate range, accuracy and the precision, and also this shall be checked and calibrated on the regular basis. Now, student, if suppose you are going to purchase any kind of and the measuring equipment, if you are going to purchase the weighing balance, then that weighing balance or the other measuring equipment shall be within an appropriate range, shall have a appropriate accuracy and the precision, and also they shall be checked out and calibrated on the regular basis. Okay, student. Moving on toward the next slide. Fifth specification. Contacting part of the equipment shall be a non-reactive and the non-absorptive. This I have been explained you already in the previous lecture. मागच्या लेक्चर मध्ये मी तुम्हाला हा पॉइंट सांगितला होता की इक्विपमेंटचा जो कॉन्टॅक्टिंग पार्ट आहे that contacting part of the equipment means the part which comes in the contact of your drug material, the part which comes in the contact of your pharmaceutical product, that contacting part should be a non-reactive and it should be a non-absorptive in the nature. Point number 6. Defective equipment shall be get removed immediately. If suppose any kind of the defective equipment is there, the equipment which was showing the error, the equipment which was not having the specific standard of the accuracy, then such type of the equipment, it should be get removed out immediately from our working area, from our working premises. However, the defective the defective equipment will incorporate the error in the process of measurement and ultimately it will hamper the quality of your product. जर का डिफेक्टिव्ह इक्विपमेंट असतील तुमच्या फार्मा इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये किंवा तुमच्या वर्किंग एरियामध्ये तर त्या डिफेक्टिव्ह इक्विपमेंटमुळे तुमच्या मेजरमेंट प्रोसेसमध्ये एरर येऊ शकतात आणि एकदा जर का एरर इन्कॉर्पोरेट झाले तर त्या एररमुळे तुमच्या फार्मास्युटिकल प्रोडक्टची क्वालिटीवर हॅम्पर होईल, त्याच्यावर इफेक्ट होईल. पॉईंट नंबर 7. Regular washing and the cleaning operation should be accomplished as per the schedule and the SOP. This is again a one point which we have to consider for the purchasing specification of the equipment. What is the next point, student? That regular washing and the cleaning operations shall be carried out or it shall be accomplished as per the schedule and the standard operating procedure. Whatever the schedule has been developed, whatever the schedule has been designed for the cleaning and the maintenance of the equipment, that schedule we have to follow strictly and we have to carry out the cleaning and the maintenance of our equipment as per the standard operating procedure. Okay. Next. This was in the next point which I am going to start now. That is maintenance of equipment. So before this, what I have been taught you? I have been taught you about the selection criteria of the equipment. Then I have been taught you about the purchase specification of the equipment. And now I'm going to start with the maintenance of the equipment. However, once you have been brought the equipment for your industry, once you have been purchased the equipment for your pharmaceutical industry over which you are going to carry out the manufacturing process, after that it becomes necessary that we have to maintain, it becomes very necessary that we have to maintain our equipment in an appropriate manner so that it should give it should work for a long period of time, it should give a high quality of the product, it should give a higher level of the productivity results, and for that purpose it becomes necessary, student, that we have to maintain our equipment which we are bringing in our working premises, which we are using in our working premises. Okay, student, now try to understand this particular presentation. First point, this one. Written procedures for the maintenance of the equipment shall be laid down in the appropriate manner. For the maintenance of the equipment, the SOP shall be developed. It becomes very essential that one has to develop the SOP. Standard operating procedures shall be get developed, or the procedure should be laid down in a written manner in concern of maintenance of equipment. If you want to maintain your equipment, then in such a condition, it becomes very essential that we have to lay down the procedure of the maintenance in a written format, that is in the form of the standard operating procedure. Second point, this one. Maintenance program are necessary to minimize the possibilities of the equipment breakdown. हे maintenance program आपण कशासाठी करतोय? Student, try to understand. It become very essential that we should carry out a regular maintenance program in concern of the equipment. We should follow a regular maintenance program in concern of our equipment. However, maintenance programs are necessary to avoid the breakdown chances, to avoid the chances of the equipment breakdown. However, if you are not maintaining your particular equipment, जर का तुम्ही तुमच्या इक्विपमेंटचं मेंटेनन्स ठेवणार नाही असाल तर कधीही तो इक्विपमेंट ब्रेकडाऊन मध्ये चालला जाईल आणि तुमचं जे काही वर्किंग ऑपरेशन असेल ते सर्व वर्किंग ऑपरेशन तिथल्या तिथे थांबून जाईल. तर असं काही घडायला नको, त्यासाठी इक्विपमेंट मेंटेनन्स प्रोग्राम हा तुम्ही रिपीटेडली किंवा रेग्युलर बेसिसवर करायला पाहिजे. दॅट वॉज द सेकंड पॉईंट. थर्ड पॉईंट, दिस वन. Poor maintenance of the equipment may lead to the inappropriate functioning of the machine and will also hamper the quality of the product. जे मी तुम्हाला सेकंड पॉईंट मध्ये सांगितलं तेच इथे थर्ड पॉईंट मध्ये म्हटलेलं आहे. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू मेंटेन युअर इक्विपमेंट इन appropriate manner, in a proper manner, or if you are following the poor maintenance procedure in concern of your equipment, जर का तुम्ही पुअर मेंटेनन्स प्रोसिजर फॉलो करत असाल तुमच्या इक्विपमेंटच्या संदर्भात, देन इट मे लीड टू द inappropriate functioning of your equipment or the machine, and that will ultimately hamper on the quality of a product. Point number 4, this one. Inappropriate maintenance of the equipment will lead to the leakage of the lubricant and will also lead to a wearing and the tearing of equipment. However, if you are not maintaining your equipment at the appropriate level of standard, जर का तुम्ही तुमच्या इक्विपमेंटला मेंटेन करत नसाल, then the chances of the leakage will be take place, the chances of and the lubricating fluids, the chances of the lubrication, leakage of the lubricating material will be take place from the machine, and ultimately it will leads to the wearing and the tearing of equipment. However, if you lost the lubricant from your machine, जर का lubricating material तुमच्या machine मधनं leak out झाला, तर definitely because of the friction, when the machine is moving, when the equipment is in the working condition, at that time the chances of wearing and tearing will be get increased, and ultimately it will damage your equipment. Understand? Next slide. Logbooks related to the utilization, cleaning, and the maintenance of the equipment shall be maintained. However, the logbook and the what I can say, the logbooks in concern of the equipment, they should be dated and signed regularly by the competent authorities. This is again one of the important point which we have to consider, student. If you are making a use of the equipment, if you are utilizing that equipment, if you are cleaning that equipment, if you are maintaining that equipment, then the logbook shall be maintained in concern of that particular equipment. जर का तुम्ही इक्विपमेंटचं रेग्युलर क्लिनिंग करत असाल, इक्विपमेंटला रेग्युलरली वापरत असाल, इक्विपमेंटचं रेग्युलर तुम्ही मेंटेनन्स ठेवत असाल, तर डेफिनेटली तुम्हाला त्याच्या संदर्भातलं एक लॉगबुक मेंटेन करायला पाहिजे. अँड दॅट लॉगबुक शुड बी गेट डेटेड, इट शुड बी गेट साइंड आउट by means of and the competent authority. Try to understand the first point in this particular slide. However, if you are documenting that particular logbook, तुम्ही जर का क्लिनिंग प्रोसिजर, मेंटेनन्स प्रोसिजर आणि युटिलायझेशन प्रोसेसला लॉगबुकमध्ये डॉक्युमेंट करून घेत असाल, तर त्याच्याने प्रूफ भेटतंय की तुम्ही तुमच्या इक्विपमेंटचा प्रॉपर मेंटेनन्स ठेवताय. त्याच्यावरनं एक प्रूफ तयार होतोय तुमच्याकडे दॅट यू आर मेंटेनिंग द प्रॉपर मेंटेनन्स और यू आर लुकिंग आफ्टर द प्रॉपर मेंटेनन्स ऑफ युअर इक्विपमेंट. Now try to understand this point, student. Logbooks related to the utilization, cleaning, and the maintenance of the equipment shall be maintained. They shall be get dated and signed out regularly by the competent authority. Last point. New technologies for cleaning and sterilization of the equipment shall be adopted, such as CIP and SIP respectively. Now it is not like that की कुठल्याही इक्विपमेंटला जर तुम्हाला क्लीन करायचं असेल, त्याचं मेंटेनन्स करायचं असेल, तर तुम्हाला तो पूर्ण इक्विपमेंट डिसमेंटल म्हणजे पूर्ण इक्विपमेंट ओपन करून त्याचीच क्लिनिंग तुम्हाला करता येईल. आता नवीन टेक्नॉलॉजी सुद्धा डेव्हलप झालेल्या आहेत. नवीन टेक्नॉलॉजी सच ॲज CIP क्लीन इन प्लेस, SIP स्टरलायझेशन इन प्लेस, या दोन नवीन टेक्निक आहे ज्याच्या सहाय्याने आपण इक्विपमेंटचं क्लिनिंग करू शकतो, आपण इक्विपमेंटचं मेंटेनन्स करू शकतो, आपण इक्विपमेंटचं स्टरलायझेशन करू शकतो. स्टुडंट, ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड. CIP स्टँड्स फॉर क्लीन इन प्लेस, while SIP stands for sterilization in place. So what I want to explain from this last point, new technologies for the cleaning and the sterilization of the equipment shall be get adopted, such as CIP and SIP. However, both of this technique, they are useful for the cleaning and the maintenance of the equipment without dismantling of the equipment, without opening of the equipment. म्हणजे इक्विपमेंटला ओपन न करता, डिसमेंटल न करता, जागेवरच त्याला आपल्याला क्लीन करता येईल, जागेवरच त्याचा आपल्याला स्टरलायझेशन करता येईल. ओके स्टुडंट. सो स्टुडंट, दिस वर द 2 points which I have been explaining you today. First one, that is the purchase specification in concern of equipment, and second one, that is maintenance of the equipment. So student, आपण ज्या पॉइंटला सुरुवात केली होती मागच्या लेक्चरमध्ये, दॅट वॉज द थर्ड पॉइंट फ्रॉम द सिलेबस ऑफ युनिट 2, दॅट इज इक्विपमेंट अँड रॉ मटेरियल. त्याच्यात परत मी बायफर्गेशन केलं होतं. मी तुम्हाला आता फक्त इक्विपमेंटबद्दल सांगतोय. तर आपण इक्विपमेंटचं इंट्रोडक्शन शिकून घेतलंय, सिलेक्शन क्रायटेरिया शिकून घेतलेलं आहे. त्यानंतर वी हॅव बीन ऑल्सो स्टडीड अबाउट द परचेस स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ द इक्विपमेंट, अँड नेक्स्ट टू दॅट वी हॅव बीन स्टडीड अबाउट द मेंटेनन्स ऑफ इक्विपमेंट. Okay, now student, this was the new point, that is the raw material. Now I'm going to start with this particular new point, raw material, in the new lecture. So I'm going to stop here, student. So thank you all of you. Thank you very much.